That's actually, it's kind of tough because I really just got back into following it a couple of years ago. And there hasn't been, this is not to jump ahead of ourselves, but this is the same answer for football with the Bears. Like, there hasn't really been a Cubs guy that I've loved. I'm not a huge Castro fan. I'm not a huge Rizzo fan. I like Rizzo, but
so nobody's worthy of being your favourite player that plays in the majors.
I mean, it's not that they're not worthy. I just, I don't like to give my allegiances lightly.
No.
It's like, if I'm going to go all in.
I'm the same. I didn't commit to being a Red Sox fan for a few years.
You are listening to the Pastime Dialogues.
Your favourite basketball player?
Basketball player, Derrick Rose. We'll see if he ever plays again with his past 2 years of injuries.
Derrick Rose with the Bulls, wasn't he?
Yeah, the Chicago Bulls, but he's been sidelined both of the past 2 seasons. So, but and then hockey is Tyler Toffoli from the LA Kings. He's a rookie this year.
Oh yeah.
I like the way he plays. He's a grinder.
Yeah, I like Henrik Zetterberg, who plays for the Red Wings.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Zetterberg is a legend.
Number 40, I believe, and I believe he wasn't drafted that well either.
Yeah, he's one that's shown with his play. He's one of those clutch guys that's just always in the right spot, it seems.
Cool. So, Ivan, what was the last sports event that you attended?
I actually think it was a Los Angeles Kings game. It would have been 2 years ago, which is depressing.
Not really.
Well, yeah.
People have things to do in their lives.
Yeah, but when you figure living in Los Angeles, when we've got the Dodgers, we've got the Kings, we've got the Clippers, the Lakers, and I'm not really that far from San Diego either, It really isn't a good excuse for going 2 years without going to a game.
And just to point out that the LA Angels do not play in Los Angeles.
Yes, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
You see, that's it. You should not be allowed to be called that. And the New York... now, there's 3 teams that you would in American football that you would associate with New York, and 2 of them play in New Jersey. Now, I always find that funny.
Yeah, but if you knew New Jersey, you'd understand why they refused to call themselves the New Jersey whatever.
I know. It's marketing and everything else.
Yeah.
The last sports event I attended, apart from soccer games, was the Jacksonville Jaguars San Francisco 49ers last year at Wembley Stadium.
Oh, you got to go to that game, huh?
Yeah, it was okay. It was 42-10. It was a Jacksonville Jaguars home game, and there were more Patriots fans there than there were Jaguars fans. and as for the Niners fans, they were all wearing Montana shirts and everything. It was just, I mean, the amount of fans for every team there was amazing.
That's really cool. There's sort of a similar thing. Well, LA itself is, first off, it's its own beast because so many people move to Los Angeles from other cities because they want to get into the entertainment, they want to be actors, they want to be singers. Whenever you go to a sports event in Los Angeles, there's usually about as many fans from the other team as there are from the home team.
Yeah. So, Ivan, how do you go about buying your cards?
I've done a lot of eBay lately. But the other cool thing is actually as I've really focused on Blake Bortles cards these last 3 months, and I've started meeting new sellers. I got to go to the National Sports Collectors Convention in Cleveland. And, whenever I go on a trip, I make a point of stopping off at a local card shop. um, it's gotten to the point where I have people I do trust on Twitter or shops that I follow on Twitter that every once in a while I'll make a deal with them. But you have to be so careful on, eBay provides those protections.
Yeah.
That can make a big difference sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I've been ripped off in the past, and it's like some kids rip me off, or will get on with my life.
Yeah. But I've done a lot on eBay, and the other fun thing is I'm starting to recognize sellers on eBay that I know in person.
Oh, cool.
So that's always cool because I can, shoot them a message and say, hey, don't send that yet. I'm bidding on something else of yours, so maybe we can save a couple of dollars that way.
Yeah.
But, and you get to know who the good guys are, and that's what keeps this hobby fun.
So, do you have a favourite sports film and or a favourite sports book?
Favorite sports film? It's kind of ridiculous, but my two favorite baseball movies of all time are Rookie of the Year and Angels in the Outfield.
Which Angels in the Outfield?
The remake that they did in 95, 96, which nobody gives that movie the credit it deserves. It's pretty much like the Platoon of the 90s. You've got film debuts of Matthew McConaughey, Adrian Brody, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, supporting cast including Tony Danza, Danny Glover, Christopher Lloyd, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
The amount of people in that movie is just mind-blowing. Stars, great actors, classic actors.
Was that a Disney movie, like the Rookie of the... Oh, sorry, I was getting you mixed up with the Rookie of the Year was the one you mentioned, wasn't it?
Yeah, in Rookie of the Year, that's just sentimental value, stupid jokes. Kid breaks his arm and can throw a 105-mile-per-hour fastball and gets signed by the Cubs. And,
Well, to be honest, if you haven't won a World Series in as then 90 years, you might as well.
Just rub my nose in it, huh?
I open the wound, now I'm out with the salt rubbing it in. Fair enough. But I've got a soft spot in my heart for the actor Daniel Stern, and he plays the pitching coach in that movie, Phil Brickma. Well, does he play the veteran pitcher, is it?
No, that's Gary Busey who plays the veteran pitcher.
Yeah.
Daniel Stern is the actor. He was in Home Alone.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And he's just... man, there's so many lines from that movie of his that I still quote to this day.
I think, though, it's Bull Durham has to be the best for quotes. If you've seen Bull Durham, like, you couldn't hit water if you fell out of a fucking boat. That is just a line.
Yeah, and honestly, if you ask me which was the best made sports film of all time, or which should be, like, if we were doing, like, an AFI top movies of all time, I think Bull Durham would probably be the top one.
I know a lot of people say Field of Dreams is the best film, but to be honest, I don't like it that much. I find it's too Hollywood.
Yeah, there's a lot of that score that's going on, like tugging at your heartstrings.
Well, it's kind of the Bill Mazeroski kind of effect. The first person ever to hit a walk-off home run in the World Series to end the series.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the bottom of the ninth against the Yankees, and your team wins.
Yeah, it's just a little too perfect, too spot on.
Yeah, I mean, apparently with Rookie of the Year, they actually changed... Sorry, not Rookie of the Year, the Rookie. They actually changed the score lines because they said the original score lines would have made it look too much like a Hollywood film.
Yeah. Yeah, and that is that's the phrase, stranger than fiction. Sometimes, sometimes you have a story that is unbelievable.
Yeah, I suppose it's kind of like the life of Stan Musial. If they made that into a Hollywood movie, his life was a Hollywood movie.
Well, without, I'll probably endanger my career by saying this, but my dream role would be to play Kurt Warner in the biopic of his
Kurt Warner
his
for
movie.
the St. Louis Rams.
Yeah. You know his story, right?
Bits of it, yes. Didn't he have cancer?
Well, he played for a small school in Iowa, which is right next to Nebraska.
Yeah.
Not a Division I school, so didn't get a bunch of recognition. And then after he graduated, he ended up going back to working at a grocery store. Like, he gave up on football. And then his wife pushed him back into it and said, no, do what you love. And so after a year, he actually started training again, tried out for the Rams, made the roster. In the very first game that year, the starting quarterback, Trent Green, went down with an injury, and they called him in, and he came in, and they became the greatest show on earth.
Yeah, I mean, I do actually remember, I've seen the ESPN 30 for 30 of Kurt Warner, but it was a few months ago.
Yeah, so that's a story that I would just, as a guy who used to play quarterback and who's now pursuing storytelling, that would be my dream role, to be Kurt Warner in the story about his life. So
Cool.
So someone in Hollywood, make that happen.
So anybody in Hollywood, Ivan Lovingren, you can find him on Twitter, and he will play Kurt Warner. Might have to wait a couple of years because you are young looking. Might have to wait till you age a little bit.
ThePastimeDialogues.com